everything's on a timer, so.
Go.
Alright. Did you know that more than 1 in every 5 students reported being bullied in just the year 2016 alone? While this number may have dropped from previous years, it is still something that we should be concerned about. My purpose today is to persuade you to favor school uniforms. As a college student at Walla Walla Community College, I have been exposed to countless forms of bullying and have done extensive research for several classes. Personally, I have a 6-year-old daughter who is now in kindergarten, and I know many of you here may also have children who are going through public school systems. Because of this, the issue of bullying has a high chance of affecting any one of us, and we may not know it until it is too late. As parents, we always want the best for our children. We understand the importance of education and often seek for the best places to obtain it. Unfortunately, though, even the best schools report cases of bullying every year. And these cases are not just in high school, but all the way down to preschool, too. With this in mind, I will first discuss the issue of bullying that can be found in most elementary schools. I will then discuss the major causes of the problem, and finally I will discuss a simple solution to the problem. With our roadmap in place, let's begin by discussing the problem. Parents, teachers, and educators have reported that bullying has been a major issue within our public and private school systems for many years, with very little improvement. To give you an idea, more than 5 students have reported being the victim of bullying in 2016. This statistic was pulled from an online program known as National Bullying Prevention Center. Like many other organizations, the National Bullying Prevention Center recognizes bullying as a serious community issue that impacts education, physical and emotional health, and the safety and well-being of students. In addition, many organizations also aim to educate Americans about bullying, because while many Americans understand the concept of bullying, they don't understand that it can have drastic, lifelong changes to the victim, and cannot be improved without a huge change in our schools. For example, students who have been the victim of bullying are more likely to develop anxiety, depression, sleep difficulties, and many other negative outcomes that can greatly affect academics and possibly lead to suicide. These mental illnesses are permanent and are most obvious in children when they become adults. Secondly, while bullying itself may not be considered an act of violence, the result greatly increases the likelihood of violence occurring. Now that we are familiar with the problem, let's move on to the cause. While there are many reasons that students target each other, there seems to be a reoccurring pattern amongst bullying cases every year. First, many studies have shown that the most common cause for bullying is appearance differences. The National Bullying Prevention Center reported that 55% of bullying cases are caused by looks. Clothes and fashion trends often represent a status symbol. Students are pressured to wear the most popular clothes and keep up to date with the latest styles. This often leads to singling out students who are raised in a low-income household. Secondly, it seems that the goal of bullying is to develop a sense of power, control, and social isolation. According to an online article published on stopbullying.gov, a federal government website managed by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, there are 2 types of children who are likely to bully others. Some are well connected to their peers, have social power, and are overly concerned about their popularity, while others are more isolated from their peers and may be depressed or anxious, have low self-esteem, or be less involved in school, and are easily pressured by peers. With that being said, I think we can all agree that the cause of bullying and the reason to be bullied are both strongly centered around acceptance among fellow peers. Now that we have gained an understanding of the problem, let's move on to the solution. Implementing school uniforms is the solution to a safer academic environment. 2 benefits have proven among many schools. First, school uniforms have the potential to eliminate 55% of bullying cases nationwide. How you may ask? Uniforms will eliminate the need for students to meet expectations and maintain fashion trends. According to an online survey conducted by Statistics Brain, 90% of teachers reported that the use of school uniforms has addressed the peer pressure of fitting in, and 86% of teachers reported that uniforms provide a sense of security. Secondly, students who wear school uniforms are less likely to feel singled out or as if they don't belong. Frontiers Academy, located in California, believes that school uniforms are an important way for students to grasp a sense of community and belonging. By taking away a major point of competition, uniforms help students identify with one another, fostering equality and compassion. School uniforms allow students to identify as part of a group or unity that is focused on the group rather than each individual. Statistics Brain reported that 80% of teachers reported that school uniforms increase school pride and has created a sense of community. In conclusion, school uniforms have proven to be a strong and effective way of eliminating school bullying and peer differences and encouraging school pride. Now let's review what we have learned. First, we learned that bullying is a major problem within our school system. Parents, teachers, and many organizations continuously work together to end bullying. Bullying often leads to mental issues such as anxiety, depression, aggression, and in severe cases, suicide. Bullying also often leads to violence and poor behaviors among students. Second, we learned that the most common cause for bullying is peer differences, and that students often bully to gain a sense of power and peer acceptance. Statistically, 55% of reported cases are centered around looks. Lastly, we learned that school uniforms are the best choice to tackle school bullying. School uniforms will eliminate differences, allow students to feel a sense of unity, and increase school pride. The truth is, we all want a safer, better, and trustworthy environment for our children. No parent sends their kid to school and expects to hear that they have been bullied. As parents, we seek the best of everything and hope that our children become successful and strong adults. Implementing school uniforms will be a major first step to increasing the success rate for our school systems. This includes eliminating the number of mental illness cases that are found in adults, and also greatly decreasing the violence and crime rates. We as parents and teachers must take the problem into our own hands and make the decision for our children. School uniforms are the answer.